Good morning, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to the Mr. Sin YouTube channel. I'm Mr. Sin. This is part 3 of our Revolutions of 1830 and 1848 series. This one is focusing on what went wrong. So if you haven't seen the first 2 videos, make sure to check those out so you can understand, one, why were things happening? Why did these revolutions happen? What were the revolutions? And this video is focusing on what happened and what went wrong. Spoiler alert, in case you didn't watch it, they all failed. Well, not all of them. Belgium and France, we'll give them a success. But let's figure out why it went so bad for everyone else. Now, 1848 saw a lot of tension and revolutions and conflict, and all these people were upset, yet not a lot of things happened. I mean, really, most everyone failed, and the old stayed the same. I mean, the kings, the monarchs, the conservative ideas, they prevailed. Not a lot of change happened. But the question is why? Why did they? Nationalism, liberalism, radicalism, all were on the rise, and everyone had this idea of what they wanted. People were clearly upset at the current status quo, and they were ready to be done with it. I mean, all of these people had the numbers, they had ideas, they were excited, they had people going out into the streets, revolting, trying to get rid of the old systems, yet they couldn't figure it out. One of the big reasons why they ended up failing ultimately was everyone had a different idea of what they wanted. Remember, from the first video, liberalism, they wanted these ideas of, well, some people should get rights, but not everyone should be able to vote. We still want to keep it based on like land and money. We're not trying to give every single person all these rights. They supported things like freedom of speech, but they weren't for all the people. And the radicals, they wanted it where, hey, let's have it where people can vote, especially universal male suffrage. All men can vote. You don't need to have land. And we should support almost all of these Enlightenment ideas. And nationalism, we have all these groups of people that are going to be fighting for each other that have a shared identity, culture, their history. Now, one of the things that in the second video we talked about was some of these areas had a bunch of different nationalities that competed against each other. Even liberalism and radicalism. I mean, they had similar ideas, but they were also at odds. Ultimately, what we saw happen here is most of these revolutions failed because they couldn't all figure out what they wanted. There was too much division within these own groups. The conservatives had that advantage there. They had the resources, the military, and they also had the power, but they also had the advantage of they knew what they wanted, and they were one united group. All these other groups started to conflict with each other. And when one of them would start to gain the upper hand, a different group would start to protest and go against. And ultimately, they ended up kind of destroying themselves in the mix of it. So there just wasn't enough unity to really be able to have a sustainable revolution. And ultimately, France and Belgium are really the only countries that are going to get anything out of this. Everyone else is going to fail, and it's going to take a lot more time before they get to see some of these changes for the better for them. So as you can see, ultimately this revolution came down to people just not being able to get along. We have too many different people that want too many different things and couldn't agree on enough to be able to move forward. While the enemy to all these revolutionary ideas knew exactly what they wanted, they had the resources, the money, the military, and they all worked together for a common goal. Hopefully this video helped you better understand why the revolutions of 1830 and 1848 failed. I'm Mr. Sin. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel. Thanks again and have a great day. I'll see you next time. Woo! All right. Dance it off. Dance it off. Dance it off. Dance it off. Dance it off.